Hello, looking from back to a crypto video. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we're back with another banger PulseChain video, giving you guys the latest and greatest of crypto news. And today I wanted to address the unfortunate incident that happened to PulseChain and the reason why the core ecosystem is down today, especially PDAI. You can see that in an hour candle we have fallen around or above minus 50%. Now thankfully we have bounced back up, but nonetheless we're going to be explaining why has this happened. Should you be worried about your PDAI bags moving forward? Now if you guys didn't know, this has to do with the exploit that has been taken advantage of here in BetterBank.io. This is a fork of Aave over on Ethereum. Again, this is a protocol that allows people to borrow and lend their tokens, and in this case it's PDAI, and this has recently launched on PulseChain. It garnered a lot of people's attention and of course capital, and unfortunately there's been a malicious user that has taken advantage of this and extracted $5 million worth of tokens. We're talking core tokens and PDAI. So we're going to talk about this. How did this happen? And of course, what is the next steps? So first of all, we're going to start with this tweet here from KR the Ghost. Big shout out to him. He says, what has just happened to BetterBank? Has there been a hack? Chain dipping because of this, and showing the screenshot. This is one of their tokens, Favor Pulse, and yeah, it's minus 95% with a volume of almost $500,000. So again, this is an insta dump. Okay, this is one of their yield tokens. Now moving on here, showing another notification from Pulse Alerts, giving us a wallet that has sold their 9 billion PulseX for, again, $250,000. And as you guys can see, this is the hacker wallet, and unfortunately they are still holding 700 million PDAI worth 3.3 million. And if we scroll down in the transactions, you can see the first transaction that acquired the PDAI, which was almost 1 billion PDAI worth 4.3 million. If we scroll up a little bit, you can see the one big clip where they sold $1 million worth of PDAI, and now due to the liquidity, they're only able to extract $396,000 in stable coins. So yeah, moving on to the next tweet here from Frodo, gives us a analysis of what has happened, and we're going to go through this. We're also going to go through the statement from the dev teams themselves, so again, stay tuned for that. We're also going to hear thoughts from other people within the community speaking about Liberty Swap. What do they think of this? Speaking about our friend Somi, what does he think about this? So again, stay tuned for that. Here he says, BetterBank exploit recap. Yes, there was an exploit. Yes, it hurts, but here's exactly what happened, how much was lost, and how we can recover. Transparency first. So he goes through what happened. The attacker abused the contract that minted bonus Esteem on Favor buys. They created a fake trading pair with a junk token, farmed infinite Esteem, smelted for Favor, and then dumped it. Okay, the 50% sell tax didn't matter. They had a loop close to infinite. So again, here just showing that the devs, they tried to do something to mitigate this, but unfortunately, of course, even if you put a 50% sell tax or even a 100 or like a 90% sell tax, I'm going to assume they hard coded it where they couldn't set it any number higher than 50%. So yeah, that is unfortunate. Anyways, here number 3 goes the exploit damage, and as I said, around worth $5 million. Of that was 190 million PDAI, 9 billion PulseX, 7.4 billion Pulse. So that is the reason why there was a huge dump today in the core ecosystem, not just for PDAI. And of course, again, even if PDAI goes down, it does drag everything else with it. Likewise, vice versa with Pulse because of Hart's law. So here he says, protocol now logs a large bad debt that needs to be worked off. Immediate response. Emergency pause within 10 minutes. Favor pools drained to protect core assets. Stronghold deposits remain intact. So again, if you were in the stronghold, you should be absolutely fine, but locked. And he goes, issued a 20% bounty for anyone who can trace the hacker via centralized exchange flows or real ID. Okay, and to the recovery plan, patch, exploit, and redeploy new Esteem plus Favor contracts. Airdrop new Esteem to all genuine holders. Treasury funds stay locked in Stronghold, used to forgive debt. And again, I've seen this in their Telegram group chat, where they're saying that this could take 1 to 2 months at a worst case scenario to repay the bad debt. Here, saved assets plus future borrowing, repay bad debt, gradual restart with stronghold withdrawals, re-enable. So for users, if you held Esteem, you'll be airdropped the new version. If you deposited in Stronghold, your position will be recorded. If you were in Wildlands, mechanics reset on relaunch. Attack vector is bonus minting logic, not core Stronghold. Losses are big, but protocol design allows for recovery. Community positions are recorded, protected. Where possible, the engine will restart stronger. I assume that's what he meant to say here. Now, quickly before we move on into other tweets, we're going to see the statement from BetterBank themselves, and this is what they said. Now, there's 3 pinned messages that I'm going to read out here that happen in chronological order. The first one, where they announced to everyone that the exploit has happened. Here they said, "Dear BetterBanker, it seems we've been exploited on our favorite tokens. We are gathering information. All our systems will be paused as per immediately." And then another message here from Nikki says, "We have figured out the exploit was and how it was done. We're currently assessing the damage and looking for a way to counter the damage. Our intention is to shield our users from theft, obviously." So their final statements, okay, as of the time of recording this video, here's what they said. New message from Viondar. Better bankers, we're seeing some small buys on favorite tokens. Please don't do this. It's a loss. Here's the exploit situation. The exploit has been found. It was an audited contract, and the way it was exploited was not in the audit report. It was a contract that minted bonus Esteem on favor buys. Someone was able to mint a lot of bonus Esteem by buying favor on a pair that was not part of our intended pairs. It was a pair with some crap token that they could mint on the spot. They then looped that Esteem into the smelter, which minted them favor. Then they sold that favor pool to the ground. They didn't care about the tax because they had a loop that's close to infinite. Within 10 minutes of the attack happening, we closed all contracts and emergency paused the protocol, which is its current state. So again, they did try to respond immediately, but of course when you have a almost like a flash loan attack, 10 minutes is more than enough time to do big damage worth millions of dollars. And then here they continue to talk about the exact same thing. Yeah, it's around $5 million worth of tokens stolen. At the time of theft, that was 5 million. We now log a strong bad debt in our protocol. That's kind of exactly what we just covered. And then he links the wallet that we also showed you guys, and you can see the ETH wallet was originally funded with around $400 via Tornado Cash. So here's their current actions. We're draining all the favor pools further down to 0 to save as many of the core assets as we can that were still in them. We are hereby issuing a bounty to anyone, anywhere, if anyone is able to find the true identity of the thief in a way that can be proven, or definite transactions to or from a centralized exchange, for example, from before they use Tornado Cash, that can lead to this identity. Then we will share 20% of that money that can be recovered of this thief in any justice court on earth. We wouldn't be sad if the prisons in that country are the worst. We are messaging the thief on chain to see if they'd be willing to at least return the 700 million PDAI so we can make people whole, because they can't sell that much anyway. If the thief does that, then we will withdraw the bounty. We will close the exploit before launching the contract. We will rewrite a new Esteem and airdrop to all genuine holders of the old Esteem. We will rewrite and relaunch the favor contracts. All stronghold assets in our treasury will not be withdrawn, which essentially means we'll use it to forgive debt. All assets we could save from the LPs will be used to repay bad debts. Upon reactivation of the protocol, we will borrow against good collateral to forgive bad debt. Then will be restarted. The protocol is able to recover from these amounts. This will not be finished by today, rather as soon as possible, so we'll stay paused for a while. The stronghold positions will remain intact, so as we repay the bad debt to the best of our ability, those assets will become available for withdrawal again. So by the looks of things, ladies and gentlemen, you're not able to withdraw whatever you put in the stronghold, so it is now in a locked position. So I just want to say, okay, I do want to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Before we move forward, this is just a reminder, and I really hope, guys, that people that went into BetterBank did not go with their full bags of PDAI. I understand that it was a great attractive way to earn yield from your PDAI holdings. Doesn't mean that you're going to trust a DApp, right? Because for you to get that yield, you have to literally give up your ownership of those tokens. It's no longer in your wallet. You're depositing it in a smart contract, guys. Okay, this is not the same as trusting the native DEX to PulseChain, okay, with the V1 farms. So please keep that in mind. Richard Hart has said this over and over again. Eliminate the middleman. And in this case, BetterBank was the middleman. Look what happened. There was counterparty risk. People lost their money. There's 700 million PDAI in a malicious user's wallet. Moving on to a tweet from Decentralized Me. Here he says, "Are you exhausted yet? Think about what's just happened. 23rd of August, zero controversial launch," which, again, if you guys didn't know, I could make a video about this and what happened there. And then the 238th day of the year, BetterBank exploited. Do you think that's a coincidence? Can you think why someone might build expectations to certain dates only to then shake confidence? It's a bear trap before the explosion. These events combined with what we're learning about the L2 indicate that we are close. So again, this is very interesting what he's trying to say, if this is potentially orchestrated. Now, nonetheless, if this is orchestrated or not, my main concern right now is the people that were affected by this. I hope they can recoup their losses sometime very soon, and of course recoup their confidence in PulseChain and in PDAI in general. To take this as a reminder that in crypto anything can happen, so please remember to only invest with risk capital. Please remember to diversify, and please remember to eliminate the counterparty risk. If you were to connect into a new dApp that has launched, number one, create a new account in your hot wallet and then only send the amount that you're willing to deposit and interact with that dApp. This will segment the risk and obviously reduce the total value at risk, because you don't want to be connecting in the same wallet that you're holding, let's say, $10,000 worth of PDAI when you're only intending to deposit $100 worth of PDAI in BetterBank, but you've given them a token approval of infinite PDAI and you just don't know what happens after that. Moving on to a tweet from Liberty Swap. Here they're talking about the liquidity issue that they faced today. So due to the high volume, their bridge actually was clogged momentarily, where they even requested people to provide liquidity obviously on their bridge. You can do that when you go to the liquidity tab here. Not suggesting that you do that, but I'm just saying this is actually how you would do so. So going back to it, it began with the BetterBank exploit. Our team noticed a sudden surge of transactions on our protocol as users rushed to buy the dip after the price drop. This quickly led to the main bridge becoming clogged as both small and large transactions crowded at the same time. At that moment, our two large backup funds moving from ETH to PulseChain also got stuck in the main bridge. This left us without enough liquidity to support swaps on PulseChain's side. If the clog had lasted longer, it could have become more serious as even more transactions piled onto the main bridge. In response, we reached out to the community for help and opened our liquidity pool on PulseChain. The community stepped in, provided liquidity, and this allowed us to process transactions and relieve pressure on the main bridge. Within about an hour, the main bridge began clearing transactions again. Once our two backup funds successfully went through, we had liquidity restored and were able to clear all pending transactions. On top of this, we sponsored gas fees for users to move funds in and out of PulseChain, but due to the constant retries, our gas tanks were drained and had to be manually refilled. After that, everything worked smoothly again. Now moving on to another tweet from our friend Somi, where he's giving his perspective about the incident that happened today. So this is what he had to say. PulseChain's BetterBank has rugged. PDAI dropped minus 55% down to a price of exactly 0.00238. That's crazy. And then he says 238 countdown scam psyops. I am no longer trusting or using Liberty Swap Finance, as I can only assume they're going to rug everyone too. I think the Liberty Swap rug, if they do it, will be the biggest rug of all, but only after the PulseChain marketing campaign is done to show PDAI is natively decentralized safely. This is just my guess, so don't rely on me. Feel free to shill them and use Liberty, but I can only assume that Richard Heart's plan is to rug that Liberty swap bridge in the future so everyone's coins are trapped on PulseChain and everyone learns the power of PDAI being natively decentralized. I don't have any insider info of the plan, so I stop checking markets for 45 minutes and come back to another orchestrated rug on PulseChain. Turns out the 238 announcement was called that because that's how many times you're about to get bonked in your... Yeah, these tests are designed to take your coins from you. I refuse to provide liquidity or participate in any of these things in PulseChain, including Liberty Swap. BetterBank has conveniently been exploited, with the culprit getting a nice round number of 1 billion PDAI. PulseChain core coins are down minus 10%, PDAI is down minus 7%. I'm not touching Liberty Swap, and there, please provide liquidity trap psyops message either. You guys can be my guest and keep shitting it, but I'm not taking that risk. But if that's part of Richard's plan to rug the Liberty Swap bridge thing too, I'm not risking any of my coins or sanity. Orchestrated Ponzi dumps and hacks rugging everyone. All tests are designed to take your coins from you. This includes pump tire tokens. Yes, pump tires is a psyop too. Good luck. This one was obvious though. Don't fail the test. Don't provide liquidity. Don't join farms. Don't trust any of them. Their countdowns are always trash psyops. Some observational info for you I can share. 2 weeks ago, I made a post saying BetterBank sounds like a Richard Heart chosen name. They quickly replied to me on Twitter basically saying, let's not go to that conclusion, please. This is obviously because they know the plan was to leave a backdoor unrug it, and me guessing the Richard Heart's involvement name was not part of their plan. BetterBank was given 50 to 100% supply yield for tokens, and I mentioned that this was fishy. Cash Money literally made posts saying that they're going to rug and take all your money out. My conclusion: do not put your PulseChain cores or P tokens on any protocol, as I already explained, right? The counterparty risk, ladies and gentlemen. Liberty Rug will probably rug in the future, trap all of crypto industry coins, and make PDAI look amazing because it's natively decentralized. PDAI price recovered dip. My nipples remain pegged. I never thought those words would come out of my mouth in my entire life. And then Liberty Swap replies to his tweet and says, "This is crazy, Somi, and feels 100% unfair to our protocol. Please reconsider your judgment. We've been doing our part to help resolve the main bridge clogging issue, and this problem did not originate from our side at all." And then B-Roots actually replies to that and says, "Stop begging." And then they followed by saying, "Sir, you're hilariously funny." And an interesting reply from Liquidity Indicator says, "Where did you come from? Who are you?" Because if you guys didn't know, by the way, the team is anonymous. They're not doxed. We don't know who they are. And then our friend Sami replies, "Crickets," indicating that that's something they should consider to gain more confidence in their servers. But ladies and gentlemen, aside from that, I'm actually going to end the video there. I'm going to keep it nice, short, and sweet. I hope you guys enjoyed this up-to-date video. Now you know about what happened with BetterBank. I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video. And as always, big shout out to the man above. Trust in the process, trust in God. I still believe in PDAI. I still believe in the Core 7. This is the final bear trap. Don't fall for it, and take care. Bye-bye.